Hare Your phone. It's 20%. I'll be fine. Close. Okay.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna. Let's thank our ICNJ youth with a loud Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Some quick announcements. We'll see Hari Parshad Prabhu is logged in or not yet. So tomorrow is Ekadasi, minimally fasting from grains and beans and increasing our Krishna consciousness. We will have Ekadasi Kirtan virtually as every Ekadasi. Tomorrow it will be from 5 to 7 p.m. in the evening. So please take advantage of it to absorb yourself in Kirtan. The link will be sent out in the Japathon group, and we'll probably even post it here for everyone so that they can take it with them. The ID, the Zoom ID. Apart from that, the fast breaking time on Tuesday, Parna time, let's see, is 5:37 a.m. to 8:06 a.m. And it's also Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's appearance day, who is Srila Vyasdev in Gaulila. Okay, next Saturday, we have a speaker speaking at, let's see, from 10 to 11. And the topic for the discussion is blending topics from the Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam. And Dhruv Maharaj Prabhu is going to speak from Alachua. Next Sunday, we have His Holiness Janananda Goswami Maharaj speaking as part of our ICNJ Japathon from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then in the evening, His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu is going to give our Sunday Feast lecture at the same time, 7 to 8. Is Hari Prasad Prabhu joined in? Let me see. In India, it's 4:30 a.m. So let's see. His Grace Hari Prasad Prabhu is going to speak today on King Nriga's realization. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 64 topic. So let's welcome His Grace Hari Prasad Prabhu. He is a returning speaker. We introduced him before. He's a disciple of His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj. He's also one of the editors of the Sri Krishna Kathamrita Bindu, which is coming out, Gopal from Gopal Jew Publications, and is a very scholarly devotee, and he was a wonderful class last time, and we have heard a lot about him, and we are very fortunate to have him amidst us today. So let's welcome him with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Haribo, Haribo, Haribo.
It will be moderated by our host so that he'll put everybody else on the mute so that Hari Prasad Prabhu can give the lecture, and then we'll have question answer session at the end. Thank you very much, Hari Prasad Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Please be on the live. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I hope you can hear me, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare Bol.
Prabhu.
Yes, we can hear you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for kindly inviting me to speak something today on the realizations of King Driga. This is a chapter in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Before we begin, I would like to perform Mangalacharan. Most of us know these verses, so you can kindly sing along with me. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। Thank you once again, Madhupati Prabhu. Thank you once again, all the devotees from ISKCON Central New Jersey, for kindly inviting me here to speak today something on the realizations of King Driga. If I could share my screen, Prabhuji, if you could make me a post so that I can share my screen, I'll begin by showing the first verse on the Veda-based folio. So this particular pastime, as I said, is in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter number 64 is the chapter. So I'll try to show my screen here and we will try to sing the verse together. I hope all of you can see the screen in front of me. Shri Badarayanir Uvacha Ekado Pavanam Rajan Jagmur Yadukumarakaha विहर्तुं सांब प्रद्युम्न चारु भानुगदादयः. Word for word meanings. Sri Badarayani, the son of Badarayana, Sukadev Goswami, Uvacha, said, Ekada, one day, Upavanam, to a small forest. Rajan, O king Parikshit, Jagmuhu went. Yadukumarakah, boys of the Yadu dynasty. Vihartum, to play. Samba, Pradyumna, Charu, Bhanu, Gada, Adayah. Samba, Pradyumna, Charu, Bhanu, Gada, and others. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sri Badarayani said, O king, one day Samba, Pradyumna, Charu, Bhanu, Gada, and other young boys of the Yadu dynasty went to a small forest to play. Purport. Sridhar Swami states that the story of King Driga narrated in this chapter is meant to give sober instructions to all proud kings. Through this incident, Lord Krishna also gave serious lessons to members of his own family who had become proud of their opulences. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, thank you, dear devotees, once again for kindly being online here, being present here in order to discuss something from Srimad Bhagavatam. There is something about this chapter which is very special, that is, it is discussing the pastimes of King Driga. King Driga, as it has been specified here, is a particular king whose life is going to be an instruction for all the members of the Yadu dynasty or the Yadu family. Now, King Driga especially here is a king who will be specifying about his own former life to Lord Krishna. But before that, I would like to bring back the focus again to the first verse. Sri Badarayani Uvacha. Badarayani refers to Sukadev Goswami, who is the son of Badarayan or who is the son of Vyasadeva. Ekada Upavanam Rajan Jagmur Yadu Kumarakaha. So speaking about Yadu Kumarakaha, these are the boys of the Yadu dynasty. So this Yadu Kumarakaha, these boys of the Yadu dynasty, Ekada Upavanam Rajan. At one point of time, they went to Upavanam. Upavanam means they went to a particular garden on the outskirts of Dwaraka. So this is specified here. Ekada Upavanam Rajan Jagmur Yadukumarakaha. And why did they go? It is specified Vihartum, for in order to play. In order to play on the outskirts of Dwaraka. So this is a pastime from the Dwaraka Leela. In this Dwaraka Leela, there are many children of Lord Krishna, and their names are given. Their names are given as Charu, Bhanu, Gada, Samba, etc. But the first name which is mentioned here is Samba. This is the first name mentioned. And in this connection, a particular commentator named Sri Vallabhacharya, he says Samba's name is mentioned first because Samba always brings some bad news for the family. It is Samba who is going to be the cause of the destruction of the Yadu dynasty, because it is Samba who will play a joke with Narad Muni and the other sages, and then they will curse the Yadu dynasty. So Samba is a cause of misfortune for the Yadu dynasty. For this reason, Samba should be given a lesson first. Therefore, Samba's name is mentioned here first amongst all the children of Lord Krishna. So, dear devotees, in those days, Lord Krishna's all of his children, they used to go play on the outskirts of Dwaraka. The outskirts of Dwaraka, there were many different types of gardens and many rivers, many lakes. Also, there were uh, various other types of animals, specifically wild animals, which they could go and have a look at on the outskirts of Dwaraka. And on one particular day, something very interesting happened, because when they were playing on the outskirts of Dwaraka, one day suddenly they felt very, very thirsty. And when they felt very thirsty at that point of time, all these Yadu Kumarakas, all these boys, sons of Lord Krishna, they wanted to find a particular river, a lake, or at least a well to drink water from. So, because they wanted to find a well to drink water from or a lake to drink water from, they started searching here and there. At one particular point of time, they found a well which seemed to be abandoned. They found an abandoned old well nearby. And when they went near the well, at that point of time, something very interesting happened. What happened is that they saw that the well was covered by grass. And when they removed the grass, they saw inside that in this specific well, there is a huge creature which looks like a monitor lizard. Now, some of us may have seen small lizards, but this particular creature was like a huge lizard. In today's age, there are some similar creatures which we call as monitor lizards. So, but this creature was even bigger than a monitor lizard. So they were very interested on seeing this huge creature lying inside the well. So what they wanted to do was, since they are boys belonging to the royal dynasty, they wanted to take that creature and bring that creature home so that they could play with it as a pet wild animal. So what they did was, they took various ropes and they took various belts, leather belts, and they tried to bring up that creature so that this particular creature can be caught and taken to the palaces of Dwarka, where it will be like a valuable addition to the collection of wild animals. So they tried their best to lift this particular animal, but unfortunately, even after trying their best, they could not even move that animal. So they all came running back. Now, it's very interesting to note that in the Shastras it is said that it is inauspicious to see a particular lizard. In Shastra it is said it is inauspicious. All these boys, they saw something which is considered as inauspicious in Shastra. And after seeing that, the first person to head back home was Samba, who told this to Lord Krishna. As usual, commentator Sri Vallabhacharya says that Samba always brings some bad news for the dynasty. So Samba came back with the news that there is a huge monitor lizard in the well outside Dwarka, and they were unable to lift that particular lizard. So Lord Krishna went along with the boys this time, and when Lord Krishna arrived there at that point of time, Lord Krishna saw the monitor lizard inside the well. A very easy thing which Lord Krishna did is he simply extended his left hand in the well, and after extending his left hand, he picked up that lizard using his left hand and brought it outside. So as soon as he brought it outside, at that point of time, what happened is that that particular lizard immediately regained its original spiritual transcendental form as King Digger. So this was a very interesting incident because Lord Krishna was delivering a particular jiva named King Driga, and when King Driga came back in his original form at that point of time, Lord Krishna wanted to ask him something. So there is a verse described here which describes the situation as to what happened when Krishna pulled Driga back out. We can see this verse in front of us. So I will try to sing this verse. Paprachvidvanati tannidan Janeshu vikhyapayitum kundah Tastvam mahavagavarenya rupo Devottamam tvam ganayami nunam. So, Papracha vidvan api tannidhanam. It is given here. Lord Krishna inquired. Although Lord Krishna knew the situation, but to inform the people in general, Lord Krishna inquired. What did Lord Krishna inquire? He said, "Who are you, O greatly fortunate one? Seeing your excellent form, I think you must surely be an exalted demigod." So, at that point of time, Lord Krishna inquired from King Driga as to who he is. In the immediate next verse, it is said, "By what past activity were you brought to this condition? It seems that you did not deserve such a fate. O good soul, we are eager to know about you. So please inform us about yourself. If that is, you think this is the proper time and place to tell us." Lord Krishna was very eager to, externally, Lord Krishna was uh, uh, making it feel that he doesn't know anything about Driga, and externally he was inquiring. Although it is mentioned by Sukdev Goswami, internally he knew everything about Driga. And this is one very important lesson which Lord Krishna wants to give us, because King Driga was performing a very good activity, that is the activity of charity. But even a very good activity, such as the activity of giving charity, if it is performed without applying one's mind, then that activity can also result in a big disaster. Why did it happen? What happened exactly? So what happened was that King Driga then started narrating his own particular life story. At that point of time, Sukadeva Goswami said, thus questioned by Krishna, whose forms are unlimited, the king, his helmet as dazzling as the sun, bowed down to Lord Madhav and replied as follows. Let's see what Driga says. Driga Uvacha, Drigo Nama Narendroham, Ikshvakutanaya Prabhu, Danishvakyayamaneshu, Yadi Te Karnamastrisham. King Driga said, I am a king known as Driga, the son of Ikshvaku. Perhaps, Lord, you have heard of me when lists of charitable men were recited. So it's a very, very interesting way of introducing oneself. King Driga said, my name is Driga. I belong to the dynasty of the king Ikshvaku. I am the son of Ikshvaku. And then he shows some pride to Krishna. Very interestingly, he shows some pride by saying, Danishu Akhyaya Manishu. When you go to the morning assembly, O Krishna in Dwaraka, they may be reciting the names of many great Danis, many great charitable kings. like King Dilip, King Bhagirath, and in those names there is another name which is recited. Which name? That name is Nriga. Maybe you might have heard this name, and that is none other than me. So Nriga introduced himself in a way which seems to be slightly proud, because he's still a little proud of being a very charitable person. In fact, in the verses that follow, uh, he says that what could possibly be unknown to you, O Master? With vision undisturbed by time, you witness the minds of all living beings. Nevertheless, on your order, I will speak. Then he further goes and says, and then he describes what was his charitable nature. Very interesting. He says, यावत्यः सिकता भूमिः यावत्यो दिवितारकाः यावत्यो वर्षधाराश्च तावतीरददं स्मगाः. He said, यावत्यः सिकता भूमिः, as many grains of sands as there are on earth, that many cows I have donated. So clearly he is over exaggerating here. As many particles of sands there are on the surface of this earth. This is the first comparison here. Second is Yavatyo Divitaraka, and as many stars as one can see in the night sky. And Yavatyo Varshadharascha, or as many drops there are in a rainfall. Tavatir, those many Adadam Smagah, those many cows I have donated simply in charity. This is me, King Driga. So this is King Driga trying to boast about his own charitable nature in front of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is smiling and listening to all these narrations of King Driga. So further King Driga goes and then describes that what happened was that he had given a lot of charity to many brahmanas, especially he was expert at giving cows as charity. And all these cows had silver plated hooves, gold plated horns, all beautiful decorations, fine ornaments, clothes, garlands, all these were given along with all these ornaments and paraphernalia. And at one point of time, what happened was that these brahmanas, they were given these cows as charity, and at one particular point of time, a cow which was already given to a brahmana as charity, it returned back accidentally to my particular cowshed. So a cow which was already given as charity to a brahmana returned back to the cowshed of King Driga accidentally, and then King Driga donated the same cow again to another Brahmana. And when that happened, the first Brahmana who had one cow missing, he came back to King Driga and asked for that one remaining cow. King Driga at that point of time understood that the cow had been accidentally donated twice. What he did was he called both the Brahmanas side by side and requested both of them, you, any one of you, please let go of your cow, and whosoever lets go of his cow, I will give you another million cows in charity. So both the Brahmanas at that point of time refused to let go. One of the Brahmanas who said, I have already received that cow in charity. For me to say, for me to deny something which I have received in charity is not possible. So I cannot deny the cow which I have received in charity. And the other Brahmana who said, who did not receive his cow, so he also said, I cannot give up my claim on the cow. Now we can see clearly this is a situation which has been ordained by destiny for King Trigger. Usually Brahmanas let go, but in this situation, the Supreme Lord himself wanted to arrange something for King Trigger. And what he wanted to arrange was he wanted to arrange a direct face-to-face darshan with King Trigger. So unfortunately, none of the Brahmanas gave up their claim on the cow, and both of them went away. That incident was forgotten. And after King Trigger died, King Trigger suddenly found himself in front of Yamaraj. So when he found himself in front of Yamaraj, he was very surprised because one thing was that he was expecting to go directly to heaven, but suddenly he finds himself in front of Yamaraj. And I will show you the specific interaction between Trigger and Yamaraj. We can see here, Etasmin antare yamair dutair nito yamakshayam yamena prishtas tatraham deva deva jagatpate. So Trigger says, O Lord of Lord, O Krishna, O Master of the universe, the agents of Yamaraj, taking advantage of the opportunity thus created, later carried me to his abode. There Yamaraj himself questioned me. So what did Yamaraj question him? At that point of time it is given. And Yamaraj said, My dear king, do you wish to experience the result of your sins first or those of your piety? Indeed, I see no end to the dutiful charity you have performed or to your consequent enjoyment in the radiant heavenly planet. So Yamaraj asked him a question. What do you want to have first? The reaction of your sinful activity or the reaction of your pious activity? At that point of time, Trigger was extremely confused because he did not know which sinful activity he had committed. So Trigger at that point of time ended up saying, I replied, First, my lord, let me suffer my sinful reactions. Very clearly he said. And Yamaraj said, Then you fall down. At once I fell while I saw myself becoming a lizard, master. So Trigger fell down and became a monitor lizard in that well outside Dwarka. So this was a result of that one tiny mistake that he made during giving charity mindlessly. So this is one thing which should be noted, that when we give charity, we should apply our mind and we should give charity to proper recipients at proper time, and we should not become proud of our charity. Driga's pride during his charity created such a situation by the will of providence that he ended up giving the same thing as charity to two individuals, and that is what created a negative reaction for him. And somebody may say that this reaction is very heavy, but the demigods and the agents of Yamraj were waiting for Trigger to make a single mistake so that they could magnify that mistake. And this is what happened. So he fell down as a monitor lizard in a well outside Dwarka. And after falling down, but all his pious activities are remaining, there is one thing which would happen. That one thing is he will get a darshan of Lord Krishna. So that is very important. So King Trigger said, O Keshav, as your servant I was devoted to the Brahmanas and generous to them, and I always hankered for your audience. Therefore, even till now, I have not forgotten my past life. It's very important that in the commentary also it is said that Shiva Goswami comments by saying, since King Riga openly declared that he had two outstanding qualities, namely devotion to the Brahmanas and generosity, it is clear that he possessed these two qualities only partially, since someone who is truly pure would not boast about them. Very clear. So it's a very important thing Jiva Goswami also confirms that King Riga, although he is seeing Lord Krishna, his nature of boasting about his charity is not going away. So uh, This is one important thing which devotees should note, especially those devotees who are blessed financially and they are giving charity. That when they are giving charity, they should not boast about it to anybody, because boasting about it can create a situation like King Rigger, where the charity itself becomes a source of great difficulty for us. At that point of time, King Rigger started praying to Lord Krishna. And when King Trigger started praying to Lord Krishna, he offered various choicest verses in the service of Lord Krishna. So the immediate next verse is very important for us, and I want to show this verse because Jiva Goswami is going to highlight this verse and give a big commentary on it. So what is this verse? Let us see. He says, King Trigger says, Satvam katham mama vibhoshi patah paratma योगेश्वरः श्रुतिदृशामनऋद्विभाव्यः साक्षादधोक्षज उरुह्यकरान्धबुद्धेः स्यान्मेनुदृश्य इह यस्य भवापवर्गः. So the translation is as follows. O Almighty One, dear devotees, please note this very carefully. O Almighty One, how is it that my eyes see you here before me? How is it that my eyes see you here before me? You are the Supreme Soul, whom the greatest masters of mystic yoga can meditate upon within their pure hearts only by employing the spiritual eyes of the Vedas. Then how, O transcendental Lord, are you directly visible to me? Since my intelligence has been blinded by the severe tribulations of material life. Only one who has finished his material entanglement in this world should be able to see you. So very clearly, King Trigger at this point of time mentioned that how is it that my eyes see you here before me? Very important, because many of us today are thinking that we will perform a little sadhana and we should be able to see God directly in front of our eyes. But this is not the case with King Trigger. We can see here that King Trigger is surprised that how is it that I am able to see you directly in front of my eyes, here in front of me. Why? Because you should only be visible to those who have perfected the system of yoga. And Srila Jiva Goswami quotes this verse in his Sandarbhas, and in this Sandarbhas, he gives a brief commentary about this verse. So I am going to speak something from what Srila Jiva Goswami speaks from his commentary on this verse, because it is important for us to understand what the important message behind this specific verse is. So Srila Jiva Goswami begins by saying that this particular verse especially is an indication for all the sadhakas. What indication does it have for all the sadhakas? The indication it has for all the sadhakas is that Lord Krishna is not very easily visible to the sadhakas. Even in Dwapar Yuga, in front of King Indriga, Lord Krishna appeared with very great difficulty, and that too King Indriga was extremely surprised. Why was he surprised? He was surprised because he was not expecting to see Lord Krishna face to face. He was not expecting to see Lord Krishna face to face. But when Krishna came face to face, at that point of time, Driga became extremely surprised. And I wish to show the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami here, because it is important to understand this concept of darshan of Krishna. So I am going to show this verse. I'm sharing another screen with all of you, and all of you can please have a look here. Please see here, Jiva Goswami is quoting the same verse again. See here. He is saying, Satvam Katham. This is the word spoken by Indriga Maharaj. Katham Mama Vibho. O Lord Krishna, Katham Mama. How is it possible that Satvam Mama Akshapatha, that you have come on the pathway of my eyes. And today there are many atheists who say, where is God? I do not believe in God because I cannot see God in front of my eyes. Here is a person from the previous age who is surprised that God has come in front of his eyes. Why? He says, you are Paratman, you are actually the transcendental soul. And he says, Yogeshwarai Shruti Drishamalam Vidvidhave. Only the perfected yogis within their heart are able to see, not ordinary people like me. And then he says, Sakshat, today I am able to see you Sakshat directly in front of me. Oh, Adhokshaja. Then he uses a name of Krishna which means Adhokshaja, somebody who is not perceivable by material senses. Oh Lord, who is not perceivable by material senses, today I am able to see you Sakshat. Sakshat means I am able to see you directly. Uru Vyasanandha Buddhi. And I am somebody who has Uru Vyasanandha Buddhi. My intelligence is disturbed. My intelligence is trapped in this body as a lizard. Syan me anudrishya iha. For you to become visible to me here in this world, Yasya Bhavapavarga indicates only one thing, that my time for going back to Godhead has now come. Thank you, Lord, for being present in front of me. So, at that point of time, Jiva Goswami says, Darshana Karanam tu Uktam Narayana Adhyatme. So, what is the reason that Krishna gives his darshan? And Jiva Goswami says, the reason is given in Narayana Adhyatma. What is the reason? Nitya Vyaktopi Bhagavan Ikshate Nija Shaktitah. He says Nitya Avyakto. Actually, Lord is Nitya Avyakto, which means he is eternally absent from material vision. Nobody in this world sees him through their material eyes. Nitya Avyaktopi Bhagavan. Ikshate. Bhagavan, God is seen Nija Shaktitah. Very important. Krishna is seen only through his Nija Shakti. Nija Shakti means Krishna is seen only through his own internal potency. And then Jiva Goswami says, Tamrite Paramatmanam Kah Pashyedamritam Prabhu. That without this eternal energy of Lord Krishna, how is it possible that anybody will see him? So we should not make the mistake of thinking that we see Krishna through our material eyes. It is not possible for anybody to see Krishna through his or her material eyes. No, nobody should think like this. Actually, Jiva Goswami says, Evam eva Narayani Moksha Dharma. He quotes Narayani Moksha Dharma section from the Mahabharata. And he says, Naradam Prati Shri Shweta Dvipa Pati Na Uttam. So the Lord of Shweta Dvipa, Lord Vishnu who resides at Shweta Dvipa, Lord Narayan who resides at Shweta Dvipa, he spoke something to Narad Muni. One day Narad Muni came to meet Lord Vishnu, and once after he came to meet Lord Vishnu, Narad Muni accidentally thought that just as I am seeing all objects in the material world, similarly I am also seeing Lord Vishnu through my eyes. At that point of time, Lord Vishnu said something to Narad Muni. What did he say? Etat tvayana vigyayam rupavan iti drishyate. Don't think, Narad, that you are able to see me because I am having a material form. Please don't think like that. Why? He says, Maya hi esha maya srishta yanmam pashyasi Narada. Only due to my internal energy, O Narada, you are able to see me. If I want, in a split second, I can disappear from your vision. This is the difference between me and material objects, O Narad. Material objects, they cannot disappear at will from your vision. They cannot do anything to disappear from your vision. But if I want, O Narad, I can disappear immediately from your vision. So this very important lesson was given at this point of time by Lord Narayana to Narada Muni. And moving ahead, Jiva Goswami says, Pritastatosya Bhagwan Deva Deva Sanatana. So, what is the meaning? He says that only when Lord Krishna is pleased upon somebody, he willingly gives his darshan. Otherwise, it is not possible for anybody to see Lord Krishna through his material eyes. Nobody can see Lord Krishna through his material eyes. When Krishna himself wants to give a darshan, at that point of time, what Krishna does is Krishna spiritualizes the eyes of anybody who has to see him. And when that person's eyes are spiritualized, only then can that person get a darshan of Lord Krishna, not by any other process. Not by any other process. So the only way to see Lord Krishna, because many times atheists ask in this world, how can we see Lord Krishna? By our eyes. So the only way by which we can see Lord Krishna is when Lord Krishna himself desires that he should be seen. So only when Krishna himself desires that he should be seen, only at that point of time, Lord Krishna will be seen by our eyes. And when he has to be seen, at that point of time, he will be seen only through his internal potency. He will not be seen by Maya Shakti. Our eyes are made out of Maya Shakti, and our eyes made out of Maya can never ever see Krishna. This is the reason why most people in the world will never have a darshan of Krishna in their lives, because their eyes are material and Lord Krishna's bodily form is completely spiritual, and a material object will never be able to perceive a spiritual object. For this reason, the eyes have to be spiritualized. And dear devotees, this is the same conclusion that the Acharyas are bringing up, that Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaha Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayam. Premanjana Churita. Only when the spiritual ointment of prema is applied to the eyes, only then Santaha Sadaiva. Only at that point of time do all the saintly souls see Lord Krishna. It is not possible otherwise, dear devotees, to see Lord Krishna. Therefore, once again I am repeating it. O Almighty One, how is it that my eyes see you here before me? You are the Supreme Soul, whom only the greatest masters of mystic yoga can meditate upon, and that too within their hearts, not in front of their eyes, only by having the spiritual eye of the Vedas. Then how, O transcendental Lord, are you directly visible to me? So it's very important. Briga is questioning me. How is it that I directly saw you? It was not possible for me because I did not execute any yoga. And my intelligence has been blinded by the severe tribulations of material life. But I understand why you have come in front of me. Why? Because only one who has finished his material entanglement in the world should be able to see this. So by this statement, he indicates that my his material entanglement is now about to end. It's a very important verse. After that, Mrika offered some prayers, and he said, O Deva Deva Jagannath Govinda Purushottama Narayana Rishikesha Punya Shloka Achyuta Avyaya, please permit me to depart for the world of the demigods. So what is going to happen here now is, somebody may say, well, he should go back home, back to Godhead. So there are two types of liberation, dear devotees. One is called as Krama Mukti and one is called as Sadhyo Mukti. So Krama Mukti means a devotee who has perfected his life first goes to the higher planets, and gradually after going to the higher planets, he never comes down and then goes back home to Godhead. That is called as Krama Mukti or sequential liberation. And then there is something called as Sadhyo Mukti or immediate liberation, where a devotee directly goes back home back to Godhead. So what is going to happen now is King Briga is going to go to heaven, and for a long time he will have immense enjoyment in heaven. And after having immense enjoyment in heaven, then he will go back home, back to Godhead. But he says, wherever I live, O Master, may my mind always take shelter of your lotus feet. So this is very important. And by saying this, after saying this, he circumambulated Lord Krishna. And after circumambulating Lord Krishna, King Briga went to his higher heavenly destination. So this, dear devotees, is a very important message that if we want to see Lord Krishna face to face at Riga, it is not possible by our efforts. No matter how many efforts we put, only when Krishna desires that he will be seen, only at that point of time Krishna will be seen, and that too Krishna will first spiritualize our eyes, because using through material eyes it is not possible for us to see Krishna. So this was the sum and substance of King Driga's realization, dear devotees. At this point of time, I would like to pause and I would like to thank once again Madhupati Prabhu for kindly inviting me here to speak something. And if there are any questions or comments, then I would like to start taking those questions and comments. Thank you once again, devotees, very much for kindly listening to what I have to say. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
We'll take questions. If anybody has any questions, they can unmute themselves and ask a question. Or they can even send it by chat and we can call the name out. So while others are still thinking, I have a quick question, Hari Prasad Prabhu.
Yes,
Yeah, no, King Nriga's realization. This past time probably I heard probably for the first time, so no, please excuse me. I'm kind of trying to figure out that, okay, no, King Nriga was puffed up for his charity. When a person does charity, no, it's mentioned that the charity should be done in such a way that no, what he does, even the left hander should not know about it or something. Right? So, but here we see King Nriga was puffed up of his charity and he's mentioned to Supreme Lord that, oh, I have donated this much, I have donated that much. And then he's getting a body of a lizard, but still is getting the mercy of the Supreme Lord to see face to face.
right.
And that's where I'm kind of trying to understand that how what special mercy he got of the Supreme Lord for him to come to that platform.
Okay. So, Prabhu, this was the topic that Jiva Goswami took up in the Sandarbhas, and he took this exact verse because he himself, when he read this particular incident of Driga Maharaj, Jiva Goswami, he also had inquired from his gurus, that is Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, about this thing. And it's a very clear conclusion that there is no one specific reason why Krishna will be visible to somebody or Krishna will not be visible to somebody. Only Krishna's own pure desire. If Krishna desires, he will be visible even to a materialist. Usually Krishna is not visible to ordinary materialistic people. But King Driga was an interesting case. He had the pride of charity, at the same time he also had a desire to see the Lord, but because of his mixed motivations, he first fell into a very difficult situation of life, but then his tiny desire.
Your voice kind of cut off. Hold on for a minute. Haribol. Namru Prabhu or somebody?
Yes, Prabhuji's screen is also hung. So looks like there is a problem.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think we lost. Yeah,
Okay.
Prabhuji got disconnected. Yeah.
Okay, might join back again. Ahmad sir, let me. Yeah, he just sent a text. He's coming back again.
There was also a question on the chat, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, Raman, immediately, Raman, so why don't you moderate that immediately after he finishes his answer? We can answer. Let's see the other question. Mm. Krishna has two spiritual eyes of anyone who can see him. Those who all saw him. Some technical difficulty, and he's joining back. He's trying. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. His laptop got overheated, so he's joining back. He said, yeah. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Yeah. We can internally discuss on this pastime. Now in Krishna answering, Krishna is Atmanam and is fully independent. Only he decides whom to give and when to give mercy. At the same time, he says in Gita, Yetamam Prapadantam. Yeah. Now we do see that in Mahabharata, when Lord Krishna appeared in front of the Kauravas. The Kauravas, though Krishna was present right in front of them, they were not seeing him as a Supreme Lord. Even when Krishna came as Shanti Dut, the peace messenger, Duryodhana didn't want to hear anything, was ready to kidnap. He was ordering, "Oh, kidnap this mystic."
Prabhuji point now.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
I'm really sorry to the laptop crashed.
That's all right, Prabhuji.
Okay, so I was continuing to where I was saying that this entire incident just demonstrates a very simple point that Krishna is seen only when he desires to be seen, not otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be seen to, he can be visible to any person, but especially he was visible to Mriga, and in order to be visible to Mriga, Mriga had to first have spiritual eyes. Then there was a question asked, I think Gaur Kumar Prabhu had asked a question, but I'm missing that. Can you read out that question, Prabhu? It's not visible.
So the question on the chat was, if Krishna has to spiritualize eyes of anyone who can see him, did Krishna spiritualize the eyes of the Kauravas who all saw him?
Yes, everybody's eyes were spiritual eyes. Anybody who saw, because Krishna's body is not material at all. So anybody who saw Krishna did not see a material form of Krishna. All of them who saw Krishna saw a spiritual form of Krishna, but not everybody could recognize it. So this is the Siddhanta given by our acharyas.
Okay. So they were not able to recognize the Supreme.
Yes.
Okay.
When in the Kaurav assembly, Duryodhana tried to bind Krishna, that time Krishna showed his actual form in front of Duryodhana. Krishna always had that spiritual form, but they were not able to recognize him. That is the Siddhanta given by our acharyas.
So there was another question on the chat, Prabhuji. Krishna is Atma Rama and he is fully independent. Only he decides whom to give and when to give mercy at the same time he says in Gita, Ye yatamam prapadyante, meaning he reciprocates as we approach him. How do we reconcile these two?
Ye yatamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajami. As somebody surrenders to me, I reciprocate accordingly. So, ye yatamam prapadyante, as individuals surrender to me, tam tathaiva bhajami. Accordingly, I reciprocate with them. But doesn't mean that I will immediately become visible to them. So reciprocation has various meanings. So reciprocation also means that they will advance in their bhakti. But it doesn't mean always that they'll be able to see him face to face very easily. Face to face darshan is only possible when one has prema within them. And even after having prema, Krishna should desire to be seen by that person. So when Krishna is seen by that particular person, then it indicates that it is that person's final life in the material world. That is the Siddhanta.
And one more question, Prabhuji. How was Duryodhana able to see the Lord when he wasn't pure?
There were many individuals who were able to see the Lord even though they were not pure, because it was Lord Krishna's time of arrival during Dwapar Yuga. It was Krishna's Leela. So those who were pure or not pure, all of them were given a vision by which they could perceive the bodily form of Krishna. Whether they understood him as the Supreme Lord or whether they did not understand is a different question. But they were all given those spiritual eyes by which they could see Krishna. And Bhishma Dev very clearly specifies a verse that even though they were ignorant, Still, because they saw Lord Krishna even once in their lives, they attained perfection in their lives. And which verse is that? That verse is specified in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yamiha niriksha hataha gata swarupam. So I will specify the verse number so that everybody can note down this verse. This is 1.9.39. I'm sharing the screen so that everybody can see that this specific verse uh, is present. I'll need to be given the option of sharing the screen. Everybody, if you could allow me to share the screen, I will share my screen.
Namrut Prabhu, can you make Hari Prasad Prabhu the host?
Yes.
Yes,
Now,
Prabhuji.
yes,
Yeah.
please see here. Yamiha niriksha hataha gataha swarupam. So, in the translation, Srila Prabhupada says, those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and then after that they died, they attained their original forms after death. So simply by seeing Krishna, whether they believed in him or they didn't believe in him, dying in Kurukshetra, simply after seeing Krishna was a result. It caused them to go back home, back to God. This is the Siddhanta.
Any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this beautiful class. I just have one question that in the last part of the class you were mentioning about how one is liberated, right? There are two kinds of liberation. First is that one goes back to Godhead right from this earthly planet. And the second is that they rise and go on to the heavenly planets, and then the sequential liberation that you were talking about.
Yes.
So can you name the both? And in this regard, I just want to ask that how come it's a sequential liberation? Because what I have heard is that if one has to go home back to Godhead, one has to go only through this earth planet, because this acts like a 14-story building, and this is the point where the elevator's doors are open, and then we can take the elevator and go. So how come directly from heavenly planets we can go? Because after heavenly planets, one has to come back to this earth planet because they have already finished their prior credits. So if you can please explain that. Thank you.
Yes, I have. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry, today the connection quality was not good. Once again, I would like to apologize. And the question which was asked is, what are the names of those two liberations? I have typed that name in the chat box. One is known as Krama Mukti and one is called as Sadhya Mukti. So Krama Mukti means gradual liberation, wherein one gets elevated to the heavenly planets, and from there one goes back to Godhead. And Sadhya Mukti is when one immediately goes back to Godhead from this current earthly planet. So Krama Mukti and Sadhya Mukti are two types of Mukti described in Shastra. Gopa Kumar in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita also sees what is known as Krama Mukti. And it is not that only from earthly planet one goes back to Godhead. There are many examples like Gajendra, who went even from the heavenly planets. So they went back to Godhead even from the heavenly planets. There is no rule that one can go only from earthly planet. As long as bhakti can be performed in any planetary system, from that planetary system one can exhaust all of one's karma and go back to Godhead. So Jiva Goswami says even in the hellish planets, Swarge and Narake, all conditions of life, even within the womb of the mother, one can perform bhakti as Prahlad performed even within the womb of his mother. So, Karma Mukti simply means that all the negative reactions have been exhausted, but one wants the living entity to experience all the positive reactions before coming out of the material world. So that is Krama Mukti. Sadhya Mukti means no one immediately wants that devotee to come back to Godhead. That is Sadhya means immediate Mukti and Krama means gradual Mukti. So both Muktis are described in Shastra, and there is no rule that only through the earthly planet one goes back to Godhead. One can go back to Godhead from any particular planet. So this is the general rule. Anywhere where we can perform bhakti, we can go back to Godhead. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, because we have normally heard that it's very hard to perform bhakti in the heavenly planets because the opulences are so much. So one has to come back because your pious credits are over.
No, as soon as one has the association of a great devotee, anywhere one can go back to Godhead. So bhakti is a continuous process, and on earthly planets it is slightly easier because there are so many devotees now in Kali Yuga. But in other planets, then suppose we go to another planet, then we may not be finding an institution like ISKCON, and we may have to do it the old school way, like my grandparents did without any institution. So bhakti can be done in any way. You may not find an institution and a dedicated association of devotees. There may be a few devotees, but then that's how we'll have to manage if we have to perform it in higher planets. So that is the answer to your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other discussion? Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for your wonderful enlightenment on this wonderful topic today. And we're very fortunate to have you. I know it's very early in the morning in India. So thank you very much for your sacrifice to give us this opportunity to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam, of how we can get the darshan of the Supreme Lord just by His will. Right? Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madhukari. Thank you so much, all the devotees who kindly attended. And please, once again, sorry for the technical issues here. It's difficult to, it's difficult to broadcast from India. Still, there are some internet issues, but I am once again very thankful, Madhukari, for kindly inviting me here to speak something. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you, Hari Hari. So for those who didn't hear, next Saturday from 10 to 11, we have